There is so much beauty around us. And no, I am not talking about our appearances, fancy cars or other worldly possessions. I'm simply referring to nature's beauty. I am Adrian Atkinson, and on today's edition of Jamaica Magazine, we learn about the environment and how to protect the species within it. This and more after the news.
Jamaica, we are in the throes of a pandemic. COVID-19 cases are on the rise. COVID-19 related deaths are climbing. COVID-19 bed capacity at our hospitals has been maxed out. Yet still, some of us continue to flout the COVID-19 containment measures. Some of us still refuse to wear masks in public places. We still gather in groups of more than 10. We still break the curfew hours. And we still attend illegal parties. Wise up! Take responsibility for your health. Safeguard the health of your loved ones. Obey the COVID-19 protocols.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, April 12, 2021. More than 30,000 Jamaicans got their first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine over the weekend as government continued its island-wide vaccination blitz. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is looking to administer 50,000 COVID-19 vaccinations at blitz events from April 9 to 13. The island-wide vaccination blitz continues tomorrow at various sites. As of Sunday, 3 new categories of persons are among those who can apply for the vaccine. They are persons 40 years and older who suffer from one or more comorbid conditions, individuals 50 years and older, and members of the public who are employed to the transport sector. On Monday, government workers were also added to the list. The Health Ministry also continues to vaccinate health and other frontline workers, tourism workers, teachers and other employees of educational institutions, media, as well as staff members from the Department of Correctional Services, Jamaica Fire Brigade, PICA, and the Jamaica Customs Agency. The ministry has announced that 10 vaccination blitz sites will operate until 8 p.m. today and tomorrow, April 13, as it aims to get as many Jamaicans as possible inoculated with the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. The sites are the National Arena and Mona Aging and Wellness Center in Kingston and St. Andrew, as well as the Twickenham Park Open Bible Church in St. Catherine and Denby Showground in Clarendon. The other locations are Manchester High School, Junction and Santa Cruz Health Centers in St. Elizabeth, Montego Bay Convention Center, along with Bahia Principe Resort and the Ocho Rios Health Center in St. Anne. Registration for the vaccine can be done online through the ministry's website or by calling the National Vaccination Hotline at 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683. Registration can also be done on spot at one of the blitz sites across the island. Meanwhile, the COVID-19 field hospital, which was previously set up at the National Chest Hospital in St. Andrew, has been redeployed to the Spanish Town Hospital. It was donated by the United States government through the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica and is currently equipped with 40 beds, but has the capacity to hold 60 beds. It comes equipped with all the gadgets for power, air conditioning, and all the other support infrastructure that is required. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton toured the relocated facility on Friday before officially opening it for patient care. He addressed the need for the relocation, pointing out that St. Catherine remains one of the parishes with high positivity rates for COVID-19 infections. Minister Tufton also revealed that another field hospital was expected to arrive in the island soon and would be established in central Jamaica. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of National Security, Senator Matthew Samuda, is reporting that the Department of Correctional Services, DCS, has been able to mitigate the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic admirably. Minister Samuda says the relative success is partly due to foresight, pointing out that sensitization about the potential threat of the virus began in January last year with key members of the DCS medical team and representatives from the correctional centers. In addition, a comprehensive contingency plan was prepared, internal education campaign undertaken for staff and inmates, hand sanitization and wash stations erected, and a COVID-19 task force established. Other measures were also taken to stop external visitors from entering the compound, and suitable areas for quarantine and isolation were identified.
We have used the basic science in this management. Reduced interactions, whether by external visitors or inter-block exchanges. We have put in place the necessary sanitation mechanisms. We have also started the process and in some cases made the infrastructural changes to facilitate greater ventilation.
Minister Samuda was addressing a virtual public forum held recently by the UWI Sir Arthur Lewis Institute for Social and Economic Studies. He revealed that outbreak of COVID-19 cases was recorded in 7 of the 11 correctional facilities, and to date, 120 wards have recovered. Up to the time of the public forum, there were 12 active COVID-19 cases among the inmate population and 16 among staff. Government began Phase 2 of the e-commerce national delivery system ENDS pilot project on the weekend. The web-based system enables quick service industry and delivery stakeholders to register on the platform and to operate until midnight in Kingston, Portmore, and Montego Bay during the COVID-19 curfew hours. During this phase, potential vendors in participating parishes will be able to submit applications via the system's official website, ends.gov.jm. Service delivery operators will also receive a unique barcode which will assist the security force and customers in verifying them as approved participants of ENDS. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of National Security, Senator Matthew Samuda, says the revision of applications may take up to 3 days, after which vendors will know if they're approved or not. Meanwhile, the ENDS working group, which consists of members of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica and the government, will be engaging the Social Development Commission to prepare for the rollout of the system in other parishes. The registration of businesses and vendors is ongoing, and customers may view the current listing of approved vendors on the portal's official website. And finally, a consultative committee has been officially launched to increase police citizen engagement in order to address crime and violence in and around the Ligonier area. The Matildas Corner District Consultative Committee, DCC, will focus its efforts on community and police relations, domestic violence, effective parenting, truancy and violence in schools, child abuse, volunteerism, youth mentorship, public order breaches, and drug and alcohol misuse. The committee is the 9th to be formed in the parish under the Ministry of National Security. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says the DCC will serve as a forum to raise awareness about the problems affecting communities and implement effective plans to resolve the issues. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Water is precious. So we encourage everyone to practice the 4 R's of water conservation. Always remember to reduce your use of water wherever possible. Replace water wasting devices with water savings devices. Reuse water wherever possible. And wherever leaks are found, please repair them and repair them quickly.
Don't delay. Practice the 4 R's of water conservation today.
Did you know that improper disposal of waste and environmental contaminants can lead to infections and the spread of serious illnesses? The National Solid Waste Management Authority is helping to keep our communities clean for both humans and animals. Take a look.
The initiative is fairly good because at the moment currently we don't have enough disposers in Bethel Street. So I find the initiative very good and I do appreciate it, and I would like to say thanks very much, and I look forward to seeing other great things from the company.
We are here in Manchester on Bethel Street. We have launched a program called Drum at the Gate. The purpose of this program is to encourage residents that it's important for them to containerize their garbage properly.
In this community, we issued 80 bins today, and I just want to thank the Grace Kennedy and the EdgeChem group that would have partnered with us to donate drums. We are issuing drums to residents so that they can containerize their garbage properly and to reduce the time it takes for our workers to be held in the environment cleaning garbage. We expect to see greater efficiency and turnaround time when we have residents containerizing garbage in these densely populated areas. So the residents are happy for this initiative, and we expect to replicate same across the island. We'll do it in phases. We only start in Mandeville today, but there are a number of communities that we'll be doing.
This project is the safety of our workers. Just recently, one of our sanitation workers, they were putting together the garbage in Clarendon, and an eagle took him recently. Now we are saying that we want to ensure the safety of our workers. Number two, we want to ensure that our schedule, they are completed on a timely basis. So the time it takes us to pull the garbage together and to pack it up, put it in the truck, we are losing time.
When the garbage is thrown all over the place, it creates an awful sight and damages the aesthetic of the community. People want clean surroundings. So I encourage the people of Bethel Street and surrounding areas in Greendale to use these drums as we prescribe them to be used. The stress that it put on our crew when they have to come and clean up instead of just taking up a drum, emptying it and moving. We want to move from your gate as quickly as possible. We have a lot of places to cover. Sometimes the one truck is doing several communities, 10 communities, 20 communities. The more back down that truck gets, the less opportunity we have to go to the other community. So the turnaround time is affected, and that put a problem on us right across. So we're giving you a drum, and we plan to come for the drum every Wednesday. We'll come for the drum. So it's not a drum that will create any mosquitoes for you, because we pour the buttons of the drum, so there won't be any mosquitoes also in the problem, right? Do I have your permission to leave a drum? Yes, sir. All right.
I feel good and happy about it, knowing that my city will keep clean and nice.
We love what go on, because right now, you see this rubbish thing here, it a get to me, and I get to the community at Greenville, Bethel Street. Whole heap of rubbish up on the roadside more time. And here what go on now. You see what the item do right now with them drum here are the best thing ever. Cause if the rubbish truck no come, a dog come jar where the rubbish them. Pay things in our lane, pay things in our road. So what we no do the right thing we no do. I love this.
If a man see a place clean, he think twice. But if he come and he see 3 buckets throw down there, him not think twice again, you know. Him believes he can throw it back there. So it creates a dump. When the rain falls, the water, when naturally I run and I look somewhere to go, carry the bucket with it. When it go down in a level there is a little area where the water go through. But the bucket too big to go through, so the bucket stop. And then it creates a blockage. When the water gets blocked up, because of how water behave, the water rise and people place flood out. Sometimes the couple drinks bottle and the couple food box and the couple juice box that cause a major flooding because it block up a waterway. And me and your neighbor get flood out.
What do you need to know about masks for your children? You want to ensure that the mask fits your child snugly, as in it covers their nose, their mouth, and it fits neatly at the side of their face, no gaps. You want to get your children some washable, breathable mask made of fabric. You want to ensure that they carry an extra mask with them, because once that mask gets dirty or wet, they will need to change the mask. When they get home, you want to ensure that those masks are washed and ready for the next day or the other day to come. Also, remind them that they need to wash their hands when they are putting on the mask and when they're taking off the mask. And as much as possible, they should avoid putting their hands at the center of their mask. If it is that they have to make any adjustment to their mask during the day, it's important that they either wash their hands or use their hand sanitizer. Mask wearing is a new normal. Let's get it right.
Admit it. We have always heard that animals play an important role in our environment. But do you know how? Learn more about why and the ways you can help to protect wildlife species in this next feature.
Bow your ears for a bit. Hear the trees wailing or the leaves grabbing your unwanted carbon dioxide, insects making a shrilling sound, and the tuneful noise of some unnamed and rarely seen creature reverberating within the bushes. Now open your eyes a bit wider. Watch ants band together in groups of hundreds, or wasps gathering wood shavings to build their next home, and birds preparing some sweet meal for your liking. All these make up the wildlife, those organisms that grow or live wild in any area.
Wildlife conservation is an attempt to preserve either a species or a population of a particular species, and by doing so, you in effect are also preserving its habitat because the species doesn't exist on its own. And there are different types of conservation. You have what they call in situ conservation, which is conservation within its natural habitat, and that is usually the aim of all most, if not all, conservation efforts. And you have ex situ conservation, where you're trying to preserve the animals in a not so natural state, for example, in a zoo or in a controlled park area. And again, the goal is usually when their natural habitat is improved or protected in some way, then they try to repatriate those species back into their natural habitat.
And preserving the wildlife should be an important part of the human agenda. Here's why. It promotes the continuation of native plant species. Small animals like bees, butterflies, and our very own doctor-bird play an important role in food production. Conserving these animals, protecting these animals, means that we are ultimately helping in pollination. It increases medicinal value. Plants are a major source of medication, but so too are animals. Take, for example, how research shows that the venom from the cobra can be used as an ingredient in making the medications for leprosy, or how lobsters can be used as antifungals. It's a way to preserve our heritage. Some plants and animals are unique to specific countries, so conserving those wildlife means conserving those traditional aspects of our culture. Things like the blue maho plant or the yellow pui tree of Jamaica, and even the lions and leopards of Africa. It enhances food security by protecting natural habitats from degradation and forests against deforestation. The availability of a variety of food products increases.
Everyone needs to play a part. We have to understand that preserving the wildlife, it's not necessarily just for how it can benefit us, but we're also looking at the future generations. And so each person needs to be a little bit more responsible in what they're doing, where they dispose of garbage, cutting off areas and so forth. Understand the law, the Wildlife Protection Act, for example. One basic feature of it is that all native birds are protected. Don't catch the birds. We have hunting season, that is something that is actually regulated. But besides that, we try to encourage persons not to take matters into their own hands at times. Sometimes we have some species that we're trying to protect that are inherently can be a dangerous species, like a crocodile, for example. We encourage persons not to go out and try to catch those animals, but to call NEPA.
Here's your chance to do your part to conserve the wildlife.
The Forestry Department is leading the implementation of the National Tree Planting Initiative, which seeks to plant 3 million trees in 3 years, one for each Jamaican plus a little extra for good measure. So I'm inviting each Jamaican to visit our nurseries across the island and collect your tree seedling and make your mark towards this great goal for Jamaica.
Why plant trees? Well, let me tell you. Trees are a vital part of life. Besides giving off oxygen, trees stabilize the soil and absorb pollutants from the air by trapping dusts that can make us sick. Trees are a major factor in the fight against global warming. And, of course, they are appealing to the eyes. Stay tuned to learn more about trees and the environment.
Eroded coastlines, a rise in sea levels, hotter, longer dry seasons, shorter flood-prone wet seasons, more and stronger hurricanes. That's the face of climate change in Jamaica. But we have an important tool in the fight against the change in weather systems, and that's by planting a tree. Trees have been known to remove carbon dioxide and release oxygen into the atmosphere, and by this process reduce climate change. That's why the state has committed itself to a planting program tagged 3 million trees in 3 years. The number represents Jamaica's population of 3 million, and the trees will be planted over a 3-year period. Managed by the Forestry Department, the initiative will expand public and private forested areas. 2 million timber seedlings will be planted by the Forestry Department, and the rest will be issued to the public for planting. The project started in 2019 and has been steadily gaining traction. In a 1-year period, over 272,000 seedlings have been distributed for planting. They include a mixture of timber, ornamental, and fruit trees. Several public and private entities have come on board. And recently, the National Road Operating and Construction Company Limited, NROC, joined the campaign.
NROC has been constructing toll roads for the past 20 years, and we have built more than 100 kilometers of toll roads. When you build, obviously you then impact on the environment by removing existing trees. So as part of the project, we gave a commitment to put back trees that were lost, and not just put back trees, but put back additional trees over and above those which were taken out as part of the highway construction.
And so, 480 trees were planted along a section of the North-South Highway toll road in Listed St. Catherine. The area is being used as a test site for NROC's plans to reforest and beautify lands adjacent to the toll road it manages. Blue maho, Spanish elm, and pink and yellow pui seedlings were planted.
As part of the process, the Forestry Department requires us to maintain the trees over at least a 3-year period until the forest is established. And then they will go into what they call their routine maintenance. NROC will undertake the cost for the maintenance over the period, but Forestry will actually do the actual implementation based on our discussion going forward with them. We are working on an MOU with the Forestry Department that will look at planting trees on the North-South Highway, the East-West Highway, and then when we get to Montego Bay, the Montego Bay Perimeter Road corridor.
We were approached by the UA Rotaract Society to plant trees, and we thought this was an ideal opportunity to partner with them to build on that initiative of planting 3 million trees as the PM had indicated.
one of the points that we came up with was trying to help with climate change. So we're doing a series of tree planting and beach cleanups.
The planting activities began early in the morning, but first, a demonstration in the proper way to plant a tree.
We don't want to plant it anywhere above this region here, all right? You end up burying the plant, so you're not killing the plant, right? It's not a funeral. You're trying to help it to grow and survive, right? Now when you're going to plant it, ensure that the soil, right now we primarily have clay soil.
And then the planting began in earnest.
It's a good initiative in that it shows people that, you know, it shows to them what it is like to plant a tree. You know, why it is important is actually really groundbreaking for us.
I think it's a great initiative because Jamaica, it's so beautiful, and if we could do our part in making sure that beauty stays, that natural beauty stays, that's all we need.
It's not often that you really see much over in a pandemic even, that people are really coming out, they're really being self-serving and giving of themselves to come and actually take care of the country which we have to call home. So, I mean, it's a pleasure. It's actually an honor to be a part of that kind of initiatives.
Replanting the trees will be good for our environment, good for our water system, as well as the air quality.
This is actually a good use. We're planting flowering ornamental trees so people see it from the highway. It makes the highway more attractive.
So it's been really enriching. It has taken me out of my comfort zone, and I can definitely say that I've learned a lot of things.
And I think it's really, really important, and that is why I took the time to come, because I think we need a lot more plants.
If you are interested in being a part of the 3 Million Trees initiative, contact the Forestry Department at 876-618-3205 or visit 173 Constant Spring Road. Remember, plant a tree today and secure your future tomorrow.
We've seen is that many businesses that were not compliant either with their up-to-date licenses have become so, including many bikes that were not up-to-date have paid for their carriage licenses, they've paid for their bike riding licenses. We're ensuring that they also have provided to us evidence of helmets. So some of the basic issues that plague the society all the time and the lack of structure in some industries is already being rectified. So we're very happy that they're now regularized and they're participating in the economy in a structured, functional manner. Our intention is to make sure that we develop what we call a culture of fulfillment. So you get people to embrace the internet, you get your small and micro businesses to embrace the box. This, we believe, will make what N stands for continue for a very, very long time.
ENDS, e-commerce national delivery solution.
Thank you for joining us on today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. To view similar content on your own time, subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit us on all the social media platforms. Remember to play your part in taking care of the environment. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.